heating systems. They're a very important part of figuring out the total cost of a house and whether or not there are any problems. A buyer's going to want to know. If you're a seller, here are some pieces of information we need to figure out. Number one, when was the last time you had the system serviced and or cleaned? It might depend on what type of heating system you have as to how frequently you do it, but usually there's a service record located somewhere near the boiler or the furnace that shows when it was last serviced, and it also talks about any repairs that were made. We need to disclose any repairs made in the last 2 years so that any buyer knows what to expect. Second thing that we're going to want to know is how much fuel do you use in the course of a year? Now, if you get oil delivered or you use natural gas or propane, you might be able to reach out to your fuel provider that can help you understand how much fuel you used in the last year. This lets a buyer figure out what it might cost to heat the home and figure out what their budget might need to be when they're paying for the expense of living in your property. Finally, if you have multiple sources of heating, if you have chimneys, we're going to have other questions that we're going to want to put under disclosure. Similarly, if you're a buyer, we're going to want to ask these same questions to know what you're getting into, what you can expect. And in the event that it's expensive or it's outdated, we might start thinking about budgeting for a replacement system. Maybe it's a heat pump, which is a newer technology that tends to be more efficient, or maybe it's a replacement of exactly what was there. But we're going to spend some time looking at heating systems because it can be a big ticket item that makes all the difference as to whether or not a buyer can afford to buy and live in a house.